Good evening. If everyone could take their seats, looks like almost everyone has. We'll begin in a few moments. There's a few more people arriving and we'll wait for them. Good evening and welcome. My name is Megan Harris. I am an associate professor at the School of Nursing. I'm also the graduate program director, and I will be the master of ceremonies for tonight's event. We're really thrilled that you could all be here tonight, that we could be together in person. It's wonderful to be able to continue this important tradition, although a little bit later than we had hoped. We usually have this in the fall. But we know that honoring you as you are entering your degree program is very important. And so it's important that we're here now. Also of important note, we are the first of many things, but we are tonight the first major event or large group to gather on campus since the pandemic hit. So nurses are doing things first again. And it does seem particularly fitting that this is our large group. We are here to honor our providers for the future. So that's also very special. The white coat ceremony is a symbol of professionalism and advanced knowledge throughout the healthcare community. We're honored to welcome you all into this community and acknowledge the significance of you beginning this advanced degree program, although you've already just begun. Your professionalism and your commitment to refining and growing in your practice and the art and science of healing in nursing. I would now like to introduce to you Dr. Judy Didion. She's the Dean of our School of Nursing. Dr. Didion's background includes positions in public health care and nursing education leadership. She's active in many local, state, and national professional organizations, as well as advisory boards. Her work has led or contributed to a dozen research initiatives, and she's authored scores of scholarly articles and presentations. Please welcome Dean Didion.
Thank you, Megan. Good evening. It's such a pleasure to be here at this white coat ceremony, honoring the 2020 fall and 2021 winter starts, the graduate advanced practice nursing students, all of you out there. I'm so happy to see you and your guests and to mark this special time as you embark on a new chapter in your career and your life. This ceremony marks your entrance into an advanced level of healthcare that guides practitioners to provide compassionate, collaborative, and empirically excellent care to patients and families. The focus of the white coat ceremony is to highlight the important role compassion plays in providing patient-centered care and improving health outcomes. We know nurses must embed humanism in their practice as a way to elevate the patient care experience. We're all here to honor the humanistic passion that motivated you to begin this next stage of your nursing education and to affirm our support for you so that humanistic passion is sustained through your education and into your practice. It is our privilege to be part of this journey with you, and we do not take it lightly because it's our next generation of advanced practice nurses who will publicly declare their oath tonight. This oath is a declaration to honor the highest level of quality in healthcare delivery, using patient family-centered care, and a continuous push towards excellence, even when you're tired, even when you're overwhelmed, and even during a global pandemic. Nurses embrace compassion. They embrace compassionate care, which is essential to their professional practice. Nurses spend the most time with patients who rely on them to advocate and include them as members of their healthcare team. We know advanced practice nurses are in high demand. In fact, the U.S. News & World's report Best Healthcare Job Rankings for 2020 gives nurse practitioners and advanced nursing practice nurses the #2 spot of the 100 best occupations in the United States. We also know that certified registered nurse anesthetists and forensic nurses also fill essential needs for those most vulnerable in our ORs, emergency rooms, and the community. Nurses with advanced nursing education are in high demand in many healthcare organizations as practitioners, as well as in universities as faculty and in leadership positions as nurse executives. These nurses are making differences everywhere, and I'm pleased to see you've started your education to join the ranks. The foundational knowledge from your undergraduate education and your clinical experiences will provide you a springboard into these graduate programs. The knowledge and skills you'll receive from your advanced program will prepare you to better serve populations, broaden your perspectives about healthcare systems, enable you to advocate for change in healthcare policy, and ultimately improve our healthcare delivery systems. Our hope is that Oakland University School of Nursing will help to create new possibilities for you and provide transformational experiences for you to be a leader in any area you choose. So congratulations on this next big step in your journey as nurses. What you can accomplish and influence is endless, and I cannot wait to watch and see what you do. So thank you for coming tonight. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Executive Vice President of Academic Affairs and Provost, Dr. Britt Rios-Ellis. Provost Rios-Ellis has a strong healthcare background with many years of experience working in the community with vulnerable populations. She has a Master of Science in Health and Fitness Management, a certificate in Women's Studies, and a doctorate in Community Health from the University of Oregon. Britt completed Harvard's Institute for Management and Leadership in Education and the HERS program for Women's Leadership in Health Education at Bryn Mawr. She came to Oakland University a few months ago. It seems like yesterday, but it's been since January, from California State University at Monterey Bay, where she served as Dean of the College of Health Sciences. We are so fortunate to have her talent and leadership guiding us toward our future at OU. So please welcome Provost Rios-Ellis.
Feels so good to be vaccinated and be able to take off this mask. I just got to tell you that. And I just, whenever I'm following in Judy's footsteps, having been a Dean of Health Sciences and Human Services, being able to look at what Judy's done with the School of Nursing with, I know the help of so many faculty and board members and community folks and students, it's just remarkable. And you are a testament to all that is remarkable about us. So thank you for being here. I'm so pleased to be part of the School of Nursing's White Coat Ceremony, an event so important to teach to each of our students' academic and professional careers. And this is the ceremony in advanced practice nursing. You're going to be the go-to nurses. I hope you all recognize that. That is a huge responsibility, and I know one you are taking on with so much knowledge and humility. And I think you will be the ones protecting life and health and advocating for those whose illnesses or conditions may put them in dire need of not only a healthcare provider, but also an advocate. To each of you, our students, I know that you're both excited and committed to improving the lives of your patients, and it is both a true joy and an honor to bear witness to this process. I think that's what we all hope in working in higher education, that you all keep us young too, in many ways. So today, as you don your white coat, everyone here witnesses the transformation and the progression of your educational and professional journeys as you pursue your advanced certificate in nursing practice. I hope I got that right. We ask that you renew your pledge and treat your patients with humility, skill, knowledge, and kindness, and that although protocols will always dictate what you can and cannot do, a love and passion for nursing and your patients will always guide your practice. By virtue of the work you have chosen to pursue, you are aspiring to embrace far more than a vocation. To pursue a career in nursing, advanced practice nursing, is to answer a calling, very much the same as it is to do in any of the health professions, including my own discipline of public health. Shortly, you will recite an oath that compels you to always strive to provide the people you serve with caring, compassionate, and skilled support. As professionals who will spend the greatest amount of time with patients in healthcare environments, I am sure that you know that nurses must embrace a commitment to directly engage the people with whom they work in the healing or disease management process. Nurses help ensure that patients are active participants in determining the care they receive. Thankfully, I had the opportunity to work with various Maya communities in Mexico, and their greeting, "In la Quechaquín," which really means "you are my other me," or "I am you and you are me," this to me is an epitome of cultural humility. That regardless of the level of anyone in a given society or in a healthcare system where everyone, at least your patients, are at their most vulnerable, that we are all much more connected and meaningful to each other than we often realize. I can assure, having spent many days and nights in hospitals due to family illness, that your smiles, your kindness, and good care can truly light up a room. I want you to know that I find each of you truly inspiring, mostly because you've chosen to accept a mission that is critically important to the quality of life in our society, especially right now as we come out, hopefully, of a pandemic. I can relate to the significance and impact of your commitment, for we share a common desire to make this world a better place in which for all of us to live. So I and all of us here at Oakland will do everything in our power to ensure that you seize the opportunity to do just that. Please know that the greatest indicator of our success will ultimately be the level of your success. With that said, we are so proud of you and look forward to learning about all that you will accomplish. So now, please take a deep breath. Everybody take it. I know that sometimes when people tell you to take a deep breath, you do exactly the opposite. Oh gosh, what's going to happen, right? So take a deep breath and soak in the pride, the love, the admiration I and everyone in this room has for each of you. You made the right choice. You've done the right things, and you will all be the perfect advanced practice nurse for each one of your patients. Embrace this honorable challenge and go forward and make life better for those who are feeling vulnerable and ill, for you are truly the light in what might be a very difficult path. So finally, please know that I wish you and your families the best in your careers and your rewarding leadership roles that you're about ready to assume. They're surely ahead of you, so go forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Rios-Salas. Wonderful words for all of us to take in, as well as the deep breath, very therapeutic. I'm now delighted to introduce to you our keynote speaker for tonight. Dr. Susan Grant is the Executive Vice President and Chief Nursing Officer at Beaumont Health, Michigan's largest health system. She joined Beaumont in 2015 to oversee the nursing practice for 10,000 nurses across Beaumont Health. Her passion for nursing is contagious, and her innovative strategies to highlight nursing as a key member of the healthcare team has elevated the role of the nurse in Southeast Michigan. Susan is an extraordinary nurse leader with a commitment to patient and family-centered care. I'm just going to go off script for a minute here because I actually personally witnessed Dr. Grant administering vaccinations and the time and care that she took with some older people who were a little confused and excited was really a joy to watch, and just another testament to her commitment to patient and family-centered care. Dr. Grant earned her Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree at the Medical College of Georgia, a master's degree in psychiatric and community mental health nursing at the University of South Carolina, and her doctorate of nursing practice degree from Vanderbilt University. She's given her time and talent to OU School of Nursing while serving as a Board of Visitors member since 2019. We appreciate all of her advice and support from her perspective. Please join me now in welcoming Dr. Susan Grant.
It does feel good to take off that mask. Thank you so much, Dr. Harris. And welcome to all the future advanced practice nurses here this evening, and a warm welcome to all of your families and friends and colleagues. I have to say it's a tremendous honor for me to stand here before you this evening as you celebrate this major milestone in your careers as nurses. A milestone at a time that has been extraordinarily challenging for our country, for each of us individually and professionally, as we've struggled through this global pandemic. A pandemic that has not only challenged our public health structure, but it's also cast a light on issues of health equity in our communities, bringing these challenges into the light more now than they've ever been before. So I have to say that I am encouraged and inspired that you are here today, stepping up at this time when some have decided to go in another direction and walk away. You decided to run into the metaphorical fire. So that tells me a lot about you already. And you being here now gives me more hope for our future. You represent what nursing is all about, the very best of the profession, stepping up in a time when people are in need of care, of skill, and of calm, whether it's for an individual or for a community or even our country. You know, nursing is about compassion. It's about advocacy. It's about knowledge and expertise. And those are the duties and responsibilities we embody as nursing professionals and as we pursue and advance in our careers as nurses. But we always don't know, and we aren't always prepared as we get started. So some of us are blissfully unaware of how those duties and responsibilities will present themselves and or how we will embody them as we are called on to do so. So I thought I knew, but honestly, I didn't know what I didn't know. I began my career 40 years ago. Yes, 40 years ago. Every time I say that, I think, wow, that's a long time. But 40 years ago as a nursing assistant in a nursing home. I loved caring for the elderly, and between making sure that Mr. Smith, was comfortable and Mrs. Smith got up for the third time in a day, I decided to pursue a career as a registered nurse And I entered the profession wanting to care for those in need and wanting to make a difference, as I'm sure that's what attracted many of you. As I progressed in my education, I was drawn quickly to critical care, and my first official nursing job as a new graduate was in a medical intensive care unit in a safety net hospital in Augusta, Georgia, where I saw and cared for people and with conditions I had never seen before and quite honestly have never seen again. I was learning constantly from every person I encountered and cared for. But before I knew it, I found myself wanting to pursue graduate education to expand my knowledge and my practice. So I progressed from a clinical staff nurse to an advanced practice nurse, first as a clinical nurse specialist, and then I became a manager, and then ultimately a chief nursing officer. So although we didn't have a white coat ceremony at my school at the time, I was still bound by our code of ethics, our honor of my practice, and the morals and ethical values of our profession. These sound familiar: to alleviate suffering, act compassionately in trustworthy manner, commit to maintaining and advancing knowledge, and ensuring, advocating, and delivering the safest and best patient-centered and evidence-based care. I was guided by that framework. I thought I knew what it meant, but I have to tell you, as my journey continued, and it took me to different health systems and different jobs around the country, I learned that while I believed in all of that and committed to it, that there were and there continue to be defining moments along the way that have really deepened my understanding of what those things really mean. Those moments have been filled with lessons and further definition of what it means to be a trusted professional nurse. One of those defining moments happened when I was first in my first chief nursing officer job in a well-known cancer center in Boston. We had a safety event that involved 2 patients where we had inadvertently given them 4 times the amount of chemotherapy than was intended for them. Sadly, one of those patients died as a result of those overdoses. There were multiple things that contributed to that event, but the thing that I will never forget was that the patient who died had tried to tell the clinicians caring for her that something was wrong. Those well-intended clinicians reassured her and said, "We see this. These are the side effects and they're normal for high-dose chemotherapy." And the patient responded repeatedly, "They're not normal for me." Until that moment, I believed that I was a very patient and family-centered nurse. But that tragic event taught me a lesson in the importance of true patient-family involvement and participation in care as full members of the care team. That spawned a passion for me in patient and family-centered care that I've carried with me throughout my career, and patient and family-centered care still acts as a guiding principle for me every day. So our principles and ethics as healthcare providers, and specifically for nurses, are what makes us the most trusted profession. We use education, evidence, trust, knowledge that we protect and advocate for the health of others. Dr. Didion summed it up beautifully in a recent article about nursing being the most trusted profession when she said, "While honesty and ethics are challenged every day in healthcare, their preservation is essential for the health of our communities and the continued success of our profession." It's that guiding principle of the trust of the community and the patients we serve that leads me to my next defining moment that I want to share with you. For me, this was about learning, and I mean really learning, about what is expected of us as trusted nursing professionals. When the first 2 Ebola patients came to the United States from Africa in 2014, I was the chief nursing officer at Emory Healthcare. If you recall, there was a public outcry fueled by fear and misinformation. The team at Emory, as well as the facility itself, was uniquely prepared to care for these patients as they had trained for many, many years to care for patients in this exact situation. But the public didn't know that. They weren't aware of it. The nurses were ready, the physicians were ready, and in that turmoil and public outcry, I was reminded of my responsibility as a professional advanced practice nurse. As the leader of nursing at Emory, where those patients ultimately were going to be treated successfully, I knew I needed to speak up. I knew that it was not only part of my job, but part of the code of ethics that I had sworn to uphold when I became a nurse many years before. I felt compelled and obligated to write an op-ed to educate the public on why the Emory team was distinctively prepared to safely care for these patients. And to my surprise, it was actually picked up by the Washington Post. And having that megaphone at the time for information helped me realize how important it was, not just for me, but for all nurses as trusted professionals to speak up and be part of educating the public and leading the conversation and being a guide when information is coming fast and furiously creating fear. As nurses, we have a voice, and we must use it to protect and ensure the health of our community. So here we are, right, 7 years later. Our profession is laden with a pandemic, and as the provost said, hopefully on the other end of it, other side of it. But the power of nursing through this pandemic has never been so evident. For advanced practice nurses in particular, the role advanced practice nurses play in the community demonstrates how you can unearth, address, and champion efforts drawing awareness and being part of the solution for health disparities. One example that I want to share is that we have this amazing nurse practitioner, family nurse practitioner by the name of Maureen Murphy at Beaumont, and she leads our school-based clinics. These clinics are in underserved areas in southeastern Michigan, and where really social determinants of health drive much of the health outcomes in those communities. During the early days of the pandemic, prior to when everything was shut down and prior to us having a vaccine, Maureen was very concerned with that the teens that those clinics served and their families were deferring necessary health care, particularly immunizations, their regular immunizations. So she got her team together and set up an innovative curbside immunization clinic to provide needed vaccinations. Now, what she did simultaneously and brilliantly was that she leveraged the time she had and her team had with those families who brought their teens for their immunizations to assess for other needs, such as food insecurity, transportation, utilities, and other social determinants of health. Through that clinic, the team identified and took action on numerous needs these families had that would have otherwise gone unaddressed. Another example of a nurse practitioner, Sarah Ronner, and her colleague Jessica Richards, another advanced practice nurse, played instrumental roles in setting up and operating Beaumont's vaccine clinics. And this is a typical nursing story. It was in addition to their existing jobs that they did that to provide vaccines to our community, old and young. The clinics provided the vaccines. They also provided monoclonal antibody treatment. And to date, as of this morning, they have vaccinated an astounding 350,000 members of our community. But they didn't stop there. They're advanced practice nurses, after all. On countless occasions, they picked up that megaphone for education, similar to the one that I picked up when I was at Emory, and spoke to the media to educate the public squelch myths about the COVID vaccine, and to encourage and facilitate anyone to get their vaccine who wanted one. Establishing that nursing presence which can calm and educate and reassure the public. So you're probably thinking at this point, well, can I do any of that? Will I do any of that? And the answer very plainly is, you bet, yes. All of those lessons and moments of inspiration are examples of the things you will learn on your journey as advanced practice nurses. These moments will deepen the meaning of what you will do, what you're about, and they will make a difference in so many ways that you may not even appreciate it yet. But you will know when you take your role and responsibilities to heart and you see the beauty in this wonderful profession of ours and in the path you have chosen, that it's the difference you can make, whether it's in an office, a clinic, a school, a hospital, in your community, or even in the media. So if there's one thing I want you to remember for tonight, it's this. Never underestimate the importance of your role and the impact you have on others if you serve compassionately and with purpose. Never underestimate how important you are and the importance of what you do for those who need you. This past week, we celebrated Nurses Week, which I'm sure many of you did. We celebrated at Beaumont. I'm sure you did at your facilities. I see some eyes smiling when I said that. No mouths, obviously. And I'm sure you celebrated as well and here at Oakland. And we decided to do something a little different. We invited a speaker to Beaumont virtually. His name is Marcus Engel. I don't know if anyone has ever heard him speak, but he's known for his inspirational message about his experience after a life-changing car accident. And Marcus tells the story about waking up in the hospital after he had been unconscious for several weeks after his accident. And the first thing he remembers when he started to move around in his bed and the clinician who was in the room with him, the first thing he remembers was that she said, "I'm here, I'm here." A very powerful story that he shares about his experience as a patient. Well, he's a very thoughtful person, and the week before Nurses Week, he wanted to speak with me and our hospital CNOs from Beaumont to prepare for his talk. And he wanted to know what topics he should hit on, any themes that he should include in his talk. And as he spoke with us about it, a couple of themes emerged. We talked about what everyone has been through over this last year, how everyone was exhausted, and that we really wanted people to remember what brought them into this amazing profession to start with. And then we went on, and then one CNO finally said, "The thing is, people are so tired that some are leaving the profession. We don't want them to leave." And there was this long, pregnant pause. And then Marcus said, "Well, listen. The whole reason I wanted to talk to you this year and do this talk was to deliver one message. Don't quit. Don't quit. We need you." So, as you celebrate this wonderful milestone in transition into advanced practice, I ask you to stay on this important journey that you begin today. Remember how important you are, how important your role is, and that your voice and compassion act as a beacon of hope and comfort to the people you care for. Never underestimate the impact you will have on a life or on the lives that you serve. You are our future. And don't quit, because we need you. So congratulations on this wonderful milestone, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Grant. I think we all need another deep breath. So now is the time. We will begin with the presentation of white coats to the students. And we'll do this according to your program. So a few directions. When your program is called, if you could line up on this side over here. Carry your coats up to the line. Put on your coats before you come onto the stage. You will have your mask on, unfortunately. When you come to the middle of the stage, you should pause and our photographer, and take off your mask. Get a nice picture of your whole face, happy. Then if you could please don your mask again. You're so good at taking them on and off. And your program director will meet you on the other side with a beautiful flower. Yeah, very nice. So the first program that we will begin with is our nurse anesthesia students. If you could approach the stage. While they're coming forward, I'd like to call up Dr. Ann Ranchuk, who's an associate professor and director of the Oakland University Beaumont Graduate Program of Nurse Anesthesia, who will present our students, greet them with their flower. The Oakland University Beaumont Graduate Program of Nurse Anesthesia began in 1991 as a collaborative effort between Oakland University and the world-renowned Beaumont Hospital. The program is one of 124 in the United States, and since its inception, has continued to gain recognition for the quality of the program and its graduates. Oakland Beaumont's nurse anesthesia program is the first in the state of Michigan to be approved to offer the Doctor of Nursing practice. The students being recognized this evening are the third cohort of DNP nurse anesthesia students who began full-time study this past fall. Certified registered nurse anesthetists are highly educated, advanced practice nurses who are qualified to administer every type of anesthesia to all types of patients in any healthcare setting. So we will begin. Oh, thank you. Has Abbas. They're also receiving the patch that will go on the arm of their white coat. Derya Taksoy. Nick Benda. John Hitzman. Sydney Mostyn. Quinn LeRae. Sarah Cupp. Kyle Stearns. Brendan Pitlock. Zach Burnett. Kelsey Murphy. Paulina Franzen. Maxie Mitchell. Alyssa Rampre. Hadley Knutson. Carolyn Olmsted. Kate Van Hoff. Peter Gailey. Ross Zoot. Shivani Thrakor. Leanne Van Gilder. Dominic Yu Chin. Next up, the forensic nursing students will receive their coats. At this time, if the forensic nursing students could approach the stage to the left here, you're right. Dr. Kelly Bearshai, director of the forensic nursing program, will present the patches and flowers to the forensic nursing students. The Oakland University School of Nursing Forensic Nursing Program is the first and only academically based forensic nursing program in the state of Michigan, and one of only a few in the nation. Endorsed by the founder of forensic nursing, Virginia Lynch, the forensic nursing program at OU allows nurses to participate in prevention, identification, and management of intentional and unintentional injury, as well as the provision of direct services to individuals, families, communities, and systems that have experienced trauma, violence, or maltreatment. Marisa Gasquire. Gabrielle Hoekstra. Sage Stevens. Rachel Passini. Stephanie Corey. Maureen McConnell. Jenna Abraham. Leah Fairbanks. Sorry, Edna Jakupovic. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. The nurse practitioner students are next. All students in the family nurse practitioner program, if you could line up over here. And joining me on the stage will be Dr. Zurika Korik-Klein, Director of the Primary Care Nurse Practitioner Programs, who will present the coats to our family nurse practitioner and our adult gerontological primary care nurse practitioners. Please. Students. I'm sorry, all of our nurse practitioner students should be lining up, because as well we'll have Dr. Joanna Hernandez and Dr. Patrick Kennedy will present coats for our adult gerontological acute care nurse practitioner students. A little bit about the programs. The adult gerontological primary care nurse practitioner and family nurse practitioner programs prepare the advanced practice nurse as a primary care provider for clients across ages in a variety of settings within the community, focusing on the vulnerable and underserved populations. The adult gerontological acute care nurse practitioner program prepares the advanced practice nurse as an acute care provider for clients across the ages in a variety of settings, including critical care and emergency rooms, as well as other care settings focusing on populations presenting with acute care needs. And that is a new program for us this year. There are currently 248,000 licensed nurse practitioners in the United States, mitigating the shortage of providers by 36%. Nurse practitioners are highly educated, advanced practice nurses that assess, diagnose, and treat while incorporating health promotion and education to an estimated 1.2 billion patients each year. So we'll begin. Erin Aketz. Brittany Cook. Angela Rodriguez. Krista Ross. Sylvana Jaja. Amira Hashem. There's always one in the crowd. Sikna Hatcham. Maya Gondor. Emma Auti. Laura Stewart. Alyssa Jaworski. Courtney Kaminars. Elena Jakai. Alexandria Larson. Amy Stark. Rachel Doyle. Rasha Bari. Sienna Lodge. Catherine Stoddard. Julian Dortman. Sydney McConkey. Dina Fakori. Brooke Panfalone. Kate Newberg. Chantel Wright. Emily Gilbert. Lindsay Tarahowski. Catherine Yu. Rachel Jurgen. Jenna Smolarik. Kara Orr. Brittany Regalado. Courtney Smith. Nicole Shanta. Sarah Cormandy. Jasmine Randolph. Nora Ekrawi. And last but certainly not least, Violet Reyes. would now like to invite Associate Dean Dr. Carrie Book to lead us in the recitation of the Advanced Nursing Practice Pledge.
Congratulations to all of you. Students, will you please stand and join me in reciting the Oath of Advanced Nursing Practice. The oath is printed inside your program. Please say it along with me. As a nurse dedicated to providing the highest quality care and services, I solemnly pledge that the welfare of humanity and relief of suffering will be my primary concerns. I will act in a compassionate and trustworthy manner in all aspects of my care. As an advanced practice nurse, I will apply my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability to assure optimal outcomes for my patients while exercising sound professional judgment and abiding by legal and ethical requirements. I accept the lifelong obligation to improve my professional knowledge and competence. I promise to promote, advocate for, and strive to protect the health, safety, and rights of the patient. With this pledge, I accept the duties and responsibilities that embody the nursing profession. Nicely done.
Thank you, Dr. Book. Thank you all once again for sharing in this special evening with us and helping us to honor this important tradition. We wish all of our students great success in their academic and professional endeavors. And before everyone departs for the evening, we just want to make sure that all of our students from our programs meet outside for some group pictures. It's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful venue, so I want to take advantage of that. And I'm going to go off script again because I am the graduate program director, and I would be remiss if I didn't invite those of you in a master's program to come back for a postmaster's DNP, because we offer that. And it's online, and it would be wonderful to have you back. Don't blink, because you're going to be back graduating very soon. So thank you all, and have a good evening.